Welcome back truth seekers to our channel where we expose the ugly truth of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle behind all that fake glitz and glamour. As you can see, welcome back our channel. Hey guys. Read more royal family tea for you. Welly, grab your popcorn and batten down the hatches because it's only on to Real Housewives of Windsor Castle, the next generation. So, before we go jumping into this turgid pool of knowledge, why has it taken me 3 minutes to think up swim-based analogies in a Discovery article? Please, if you haven't already, do your boy that favor, smash the subscribe button down below and ring the bell for us. The bomb we've got loaded for you is the content itself. You're not going to want your mind blown away like that. So, apparently our beloved Prince Harry is crying streaming in jealousy now as his big bro will ban to, checks notes, celebrate his birthday with you itsy bitsy family. Such horror, such scandal, shame. I mean, seriously, what could inspire a full-grown man, and one who is also a prince, to throw an actual hissy fit about some brother birthday photos? Need I even say? Welcome my friends, once more into the breach of those hallowed palace gates upon this most royal maelstrom that remains constant and true where logic and reason are but scraps for food on a table set not by mortal hand. This typically reads something like this: Bill in his 42nd year, and now for another, providing with an analysis of sheer speculation, one that could leave you needing a baggie full of ice and your favorite rock album close by readily available, on the same power drill bit fabrication party parking lot just south of Oklahoma border. The nerve of that guy. He has to be an imbecile when it comes to royalty. He expects them, what? To always smile and be happy ever after 24 hours a day. Apparently, someone failed to read the note. Although this is just a drip, and palace sources suggest it forms part of what has made Prince Harry jealous with the direct instructions from Queen Elizabeth. No, oh my word, it is so much more sophisticated than that. A source said Harry has always felt second best in the eyes of his father and had to fight against being branded as a bad boy constantly, after he sensationally quit royal duties alongside Meghan, 39, last year. It isn't even that, in fact it is not new at all. Also, the royal rumor mill people insist that Harry has an inferiority complex out the even before Meghan, and I believe it. William could be, just the latest precipice of perfection to pretext centuries of realty royal triggers between siblings and another generation with high standards. Of course, we can't disregard the broader story here, Harry and Meghan's long-running war with British press. Every public appearance, every family photo op is scrutinized with the finest of a toothed comb. Every seemingly innocent moment ere they are celebrating some milestone or other is also analyzed and their choice deemed good enough or not. This is made worse by the fact William and Kate typically get more of a good run, on top of increasing pressures. Oh, and did I mention that these people are human under all those royal facades, emotions, family drama, and a whole lot more. All relationships require work, and when you have to comply with royal standards, well, that is bound to influence your future. Hence, while the outsider may view these reactions to be crazy, but for them it could relate back to a problem that was deep-rooted and so they might have reacted. However, wait a minute, it is getting more exciting. In a canny move, Kate Middleton snapped her husband with their adorable brood looking delighted. Can you imagine? A wife's click of her husband on his birthday. What's next? Strange bedfellows, dogs, cats as best buds? Chaos taking over? Then we find the most important comment of them all. Looks like we have more action in Montecito. I imagine that Harry and Meghan are living their royal version of my big fat Greek wedding right now. Opa. A priceless Ming Dynasty vase, no. However, let us take a step back and look at the big picture. Except we have two adult princes competing for something in the public eye. Appropriate royal adopted equivalent of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but minus makeup tutorials. Okay. Well, I am no expert on all things royal, which may surprise you, but it strikes me that if one were to protect the dignity and mystique of a 1,000-year-old monarchy, then maybe behaving like an episode from the Jerry Springer Show might not be exactly how this is done. just a thought. The inanity of being jealous over birthday pictures, am I right? Birthdays are annual events, yes. The origin of the concept is pretty much not from William. Harry, I believe, has had enough of his own as well. However, apparently in the world of royalty a simple beach photo is enough to cause international controversy. Here we are, with the press and public following their every shot, which you must admit is amusing to your ear. It appears that we have come to a collective decision that these royal figures, their luxurious lives and the power of titles upon them are supposed to be interesting and entertaining in every sense. Part question intentional or not, they have accepted this role. Imagine for a second having the audacity to be born in such an incendiary time where photographs of your birthdate are held up under international microscope. To be compared to, measured against your siblings' happiness alongside your own as if either is actually yours while furthering a Harold or Scipio tale. A world where intimate times are billable for public consumption, and an everyday family picture is easily twisted into a nefarious schematic. We also need to think about their interpersonal relationships, which suffer as a result. What family dynamics look like when every spat, every differing opinion is played out before a global media-nissing audience. This makes for an angry, angst-filled climate where your average sibling rivalry is spun into a potential banner headline in the news. To be fair, maybe that was a comparison to the tune of an unpleasant reality TV show, however, very human. The royal family, grandiose, historic as all dressing up and in an ongoing series where the plot is driven by tabloids and hungry fans, the central images of envy, competition and objectification were all too relatable. Perhaps it was only natural that, in this age of endless connection and social media, the royals would get sucked into the same vortex as celebrity culture swallowed Hollywood. So it's hard to separate what is noble from entertainment, making the entire affair a weird stew of ancient tradition and modern reality TV. Since then, when you next happen to see a royal photo on the front page, think back at those individuals behind the crowns. They are trying to manage their way through a world that demands tradition and extravagance with an emphasis on exceptionalism, which is very difficult. Maybe we could let them celebrate their birthdays in peace. So what pisses me off, the way in which we as a society eat up this gunk, that is how insane we are for royal drama, anything no matter how ridiculous _ in its structure a touch of birthday envy, Your Highness. Sure, why not? Spying in Montecito? Definitely plausible. Or is this the most overblown, full family feud you ever did see, all to do with beach photos and media interests? Sounds legit. And the saddest part? This is the kind of bullshit that makes us forget about the real things going on. We are too busy here trying to guess whether Harry be just envious and green with envy or the California sun has made him seasick, when in fact there should be only real problems worth addressing. Nothing like that though, all you need to do whether or not William's jump caught the world's eye at a height. One can only imagine how much time performed wasted. There was no point in even bothering with these trivial matters most of the times, right? It's the talk of headlines, TV segments and thousands upon thousands of articles that dissect each and every component of royal life. It can also be a bit much. Meanwhile, climate change speeds up, economic disparities widen and the world becomes entangled in seemingly ever more intractable global disputes. This is an area that needs focus and work. But they could be hidden by the most recent royal controversy. But here's a wild thought. Everything is a lie. What if this isn't true? CubeSats orbiting Mars, the Moon and a distant asteroid, mini-scale tests that could lead to an orbital kinetics science experiment, get mapping workhorse or pipe dream? I know, it's atypical as fuck, but trust me. Think about it. 2 brothers and 2 different lifestyles. The other was the future king who would be properly sheltered and looked after. And the other, well, she went in another direction, that of saving herself out of the royal circus. That's plenty of real human drama. Still not cool enough, right? The problem is, we cannot sell this because that does not make for good headlines or hot takes, so what do? We embellish, we speculate and craft tales to fit our fictional storylines. Indeed, as it turns out, it's just a soap opera. And we who watch are as complicit in this pantomime. We read the articles, we see clips of news segments, and suddenly this is gospel. But at what cost? It is this manufactured nonsense that bogs us down so much, we overlook real stories need to be told. Resilience, innovation and adaptation stories. It is the stories that inspire us to be better, and push ourselves as far we could go. Somebody just needs to get away from that phony drama of the royal set and speak about what really matters. Imagine what would happen if the energy and heat we devote to monarchy gossip were directed at saving humanity? Where the stories were about progress and solutions, not scandal or speculation. And I may be a dreamer, but damn, that is one worth dreaming. We control the narrative at the end of it all. We can choose to support and practice quality journalism. Our media can do better by us. We mere mortals, meanwhile, can just imagine that hiding beneath all the regal stuff and the sparkly tiaras, they are like any other ongoing humanity in search of a hurdle. The least we can do is treat them, and ourselves, with dignity. We invent more drama. We destroy what could have been a normal family dynamic. And the best part? In fact, neither needs to do a single solitary thing based on any actual facts. We can just make stuff up. A jealous prince? Sure, throw that in there. Flying plates? Why not? Screaming in despair? Absolutely. Why would you want the truth, if we can have sensationalism instead? Let's add a bit more spice. You know, like a secret diary that had never been uncovered, or any secrets it might hold inside? Or an undercurrent of sibling rivalry dating back to childhood? This is where our inner dramatist took hold and created a sensational story that was going to be sold in the papers. The truth of the matter is, Harry, for good or ill, is a man in his own right with his family and life to manage. You think he's sitting in Montecito reading about his brother on the beach and seething? The dude is literally out there fighting the Taliban. Sure, I think he can survive a little birthday happiness without going crazy. This is a man, William, who has been training his whole life for the job of king. The diary full of strategies to overshadow his brother is laughable, but do we actually believe it was in the script? I know he has better things to do. You know, the kind of thing you need to do, such as run a country someday. That his primary goal is to make Harry look bad has got to be the dumbest BS ever. But this is what galls me the most. This debacle is more or less the way we behave towards public figures as a society. We even reduce elaborate family histories to the simplest sibling squabble yarns. Instead, we gloss over the actual feelings involved and make a problem out of nothing. Which, you know, royals can't possibly do mundane family things. Now, think for 1 second that this happened to your family. When that same royal family regroups, cue your own conclave of cousin marrying shindigs. Between those are moments of happiness, some laughs, and yes, even the odd disagreement. But that's the part of a being human. There are just people like us underneath all that sensationalism. They ebb and flow, victories, turns of the tide. We still love the good guy and the bad stuff, transformer moments in life and spoken lies. Part of this process, part of our culture's broader grieving ritual, is to make an unexceptional life exceptional, the aftershock that leads us, we human beings and late capitalists and postmoderns alike, on a path too distant still at the fork in history along which we feed off narratives born from non-epic lives, creating every dregs of monstrancetrical by spinning tragedies and not stories as entertainment. Stories like that practically thrill us and seduce, even if they are total fiction. We live for the royal scandal, forbidden romance or public spat. But at what cost? The actual moments that define us are drowned out in the fake, contrived drama version of reality we have been told is always unfolding. The next time you read a salacious headline about Harry and William, or any public figure for that matter, just think twice, because ultimately all of these headlines are carried by human beings. Know that they also deserve to live long peaceful lives without constant media harassment and shenanigans. And let them be human beings who have some mundane slice of life and relationships unfolding in their own, without our overburdening tales. Life is dramatic on its own, we do not need extra. Which means we are talking about jealousy of __________________ birthday photos. Or would still be postulating plates flying in the air. Are we about to make your entire family dynamic a dramatic set of headlines? I think not. Then we have to remember that layer of this whole racial component isn't separate. Meghan Markle is a woman of color who married into the entirely white British royal family and has had more wrath over her than perhaps anybody else in history. She gets everything she does analyzed, and every word stretched out to absurdity, but now we too are stretching something that could be panned so be truth it is not only plain ridiculous but offensive. But you know what? Maybe this is just the greatest distraction of them all. This could all be another case of us worrying about the wrong things if, in fact, Harry and his brother actually addressing their relationship problems, or not, just as privately. They could be reading these tabloid stories in a palace right now and pissing themselves laughing their royal socks off for all we know. You actually believe for a second I want your beach trip? Harry might say. I know, right? William might suggest, as if you couldn't have jumped higher. It's not impossible, folks. Remember the bigger picture as well. The media allows it to become a bit perverted, and is typically covered in all things royalty. Last year, Meghan and Harry admitted to facing mental health challenges related to the royal spotlight as they expressed a wish for them both lead more private lives. When we are focused on the flashy stories, they're in never productive dialogue around these critical issues. Tim Nobody Getter a negative headline can be held bad for those involved but it also thickens the impression of ordinary people and contributes to our prejudices. The experience of Meghan and the intense scrutiny she has faced is about more than just royalty, it provides broader insight into how race and gender, as well as media coverage, are constants in considering those who dare to be public figures. We should ask ourselves why so many want to believe rumors and broadcast them, rather than the truth or sympathy. It is worth remembering that the royal family are also people, subject to their own emotions and relationships as well personal issues. Our lives are complicated and precious, they deserve more than to be fodder for a spectacle. That we should take these stories with a grain of salt, and given more context most often what is actually seen holds little truth that the sensationalized, black and white version hears via misinformation. So what's your take on this? Or you all too savvy to those tabloid tales? Do you think differently? Feel free to sound off in the comments. For now, an across to enlightening discussion and sardonic banter on our YouTube channel. Make sure to like this video and follow along with the most recent news on the royals by subscribing. Thanks for watching. As always, happy droiditude to all and we'll see you back here for more Android insights before you know it. Bye for now.